Well, according to St. Paul, I'm not fulfilling all the requirements of a presbyter. I haven't been married once. But in all seriousness, I know people would say, but you're married to the church. Not the same. However, the readings we have today really bring out the importance of the qualities of a person who is a leader in the church and what really needs to be the essence of that leadership. And Paul, in that first reading, talks about not being aggressive or irritable, greedy for sordid gain, but hospitable, a lover of goodness. And so the gentleness of the pastor comes through. I was having a meeting earlier this morning with a group of people in the San Fernando region about adult faith formation and such. And when we ask the question, we say, oh, you have to be pastoral, what does that mean? Because in some it means, oh, being very gentle and very kind. In other it means, well, you get that stick with the hook on it and you grab the sheep that's going off and you drag them back. And so there is a sense where those qualities are necessary in different ways, about guiding the sheep to the right pasture, but also a sense of gentleness and kindness. And if we look at Jesus, we're given this instance, this teaching of Jesus from the account of Luke, and how he demonstrates that leadership, but also the heart of what a leader in the church needs to have. And we see it's the essence of forgiveness, the sense of the desire to, a lover of goodness, which means that we help our brothers and sisters when they are struggling with something and call them to goodness. But also the forgiveness. I love this. If someone wrongs you 7 times in one day and returns to you 7 times and says, I'm sorry, forgive him. Oh, we have trouble with the first one. And then you want me to do it 6 more times? Why not? Oh, well, a lot of people would tell you why not. But it reminds me of something that St. Teresa of Avila had said. One of the sisters was complaining that there was a man that they would offer food to the poor every day, and she noticed this man would get some food and then come back a little bit later and get some more, and come back a little bit later, and she says, well, I'm going to cut him off the next time. He said, you've already gotten. And St. Teresa said, no, let him keep coming back. What if we, having offended God several times a day, we would come back for forgiveness, and God said, no, I'm not going to do that? Should we not think that God, who forgives us many times a day, should we not be as generous with what we can give? And so the sense of being able to continue to pour out that love is very painful, very difficult for us. But that's what we're being led to. And the disciples, confronted by that challenge, said, well, we have to have more faith to do it. And Jesus is pointing out, no, you don't need a lot of faith. You just need to take what you have and put it into practice. That's what he's teaching his disciples. We've been given faith. And faith is not based on a quantity. It's on how we engage it in our life. In the American bishops, in the document about adult faith formation, Our Hearts Were Burning, says that an adult faith must be living, explicit, and fruitful. For it to be living, we have to put it into practice. It has to be seen. And it has to bear fruit. And so we're being asked today, as St. Leo proved in his own life, to be people who put our faith into practice. And an essential component of that faith is to forgive, to be loving and generous as often as we can. And to do that, we rely on God's grace. So, brothers and sisters, as disciples of the Lord, let's put into practice that faith that we know that God has given to us. Rely on his grace to be forgiving, loving, and generous.